Good morning and welcome to your daily morning horoscope for Friday 13 February 2026 Aries. This is a great time to take advantage of the little solitude to pursue something that is cherished. Your concentration and imagination are operating at a very high level and you may not stop working until you're completely finished. If you start in a project, you'll probably do well on it, and if business and money are involved, it will be successful. Don't let temporary snags get in your way. Please go for gold. Taurus, be careful of gossiping too much with your friends and colleagues. It's fun to laugh and exchange stories, but remind yourself the fact that the truth is in the story and diminish and change each time it is repeated. If you gossip too much, your friends may begin to wonder what you say about them when they aren't there. Ultimately, this isn't healthy for your friendships. Gemini, don't be surprised if you don't spend too much time at home today. All signs indicate that you're more likely to be out and about, shopping, visiting, and maybe attending a special dinner or concert. There are a number of family activities that you won't want to miss, so don't let your friends distract you with too much shopping or sports on TV. Cancer, you know that you have a very fertile imagination, and today's aspects highlight the special quality. You might wish to channel your thought into artistic endeavors like writing or painting. Be sure to grab any opportunity to weave a fascinating tale of a child. Be careful about letting your imagination run away with you when making judgment about people. So please be careful. Leo, yikes, what an emotional day. The energies of the day are forecasting conflict and lots of it. Do your best to personally stay clear of any of it and try to avoid being drawn into arguments. You may wish to keep yourself today. Tonight, either stay in or head out to the movies alone. Don't worry, everyone will be feeling much better by tomorrow. Virgo, emotions will run high with today's energies, but this is no reason to run away and hide. People will be much more honest than usual, even brutally so, and you could learn some valuable information as a result. Don't be afraid to listen to some airing of dirty laundry as well. With your discerning judgment, you'll be able to make sense of what is good and bad information. Libra, today's emotional energy risks being exceptionally high. You may find yourself at the end of your rope by midday. Try to take a long walk or bike ride to calm yourself down. Go by yourself and do some deep breathing outdoors. Try to avoid being drawn into other people's conflicts. Excuse yourself and trust that they can work things out on their own. Scorpio, today is a good day for entertaining. Enjoy the company of family and friends and don't get too distracted by gloomy thoughts about work or money. Relax and let others take care of themselves. You enjoy nurturing other people and making sure they have a wonderful time, but you need to have a great time as well, so don't work too hard. Someone may give you a gift, a token of love and appreciation. Sagittarius, today's energies are going to be stirring up everyone's emotions. You may wish to avoid getting involved in any arguments or conflicts, and if you ask for someone else's advice, you're likely to get an earful. It may be best to keep to yourself as much as possible today and spend some time alone tonight with a good book. Everything should be much calmer by tomorrow. Capricorn, yes, you can be proud of yourself. You really know your stuff. You have committed yourself to deepening your knowledge and capabilities, and it really shows. Friends and family members will be coming to you for advice, and rightfully so. Try not to grow complacent. It's an easy trap to fall into. You'll need to continue full speed ahead on your educational journey in order to keep that edge. Aquarius, today is wonderful for surrounding yourself with those you love the most. Host a get-together with family and friends, full of stimulating conversations and delicious food and drink. However, you might at some point feel a little sad, missing someone who should be with you but isn't, and speculating about what he or she may be doing. Concentrate on those there with you. You're surrounded by love and are likely to remain so. Pisces, as a person who enjoys being gregarious and outgoing, days like this provide a wonderful outlet for your energy. You might spend a lot of time with your family today, but you also have to probably touch base with many others. At some point, you might find yourself in the spotlight. You'll feel especially fond of everyone around you and appreciate your good fortune, so please enjoy the day. This has been your daily morning horoscope for Friday 13th March 2026. You have yourself a wonderful day.
Well, good morning. Happy Friday. Here we are. Listen, man. The week fly, you know. To me, it was just the weekend. And here we are again, heading into another weekend. Well, you know what we normally say on a Friday is WTF, welcome to Friday. You Gen Zs already take this the other side. No, it means welcome to Friday. Us adults, no, WTF means welcome to Friday. That's all it means. So welcome to Friday. Let's go on over to the news department. We'll be back.
Good morning. Time now for the news. My name is Timothy Polion. As military conflicts threaten to drive up travel costs and disrupt local supply chains, the St. Lucia Hospitality and Tourism Association is calling for collaborations between the public and private sectors to safeguard the island's tourism industry. With major events like St. Lucia Jazz and Carnival on the horizon, a top tourism official emphasizes the need to foster conversations on exploring alternative source markets and build economic resilience sooner rather than later.
We have already reached out to Lucelec for a very open conversation with our board of directors on what they're seeing versus what we're picking up, and how do we ensure that we advance the conversation in a more aggressive way than before on the creation of sustainable energy, and what can be done in order for us to perhaps not 100%, but reduce in some way that anticipated negative impact as a result of this war.
In other news, Iran will fight on and keep the Strait of Hormuz shut as leverage against the United States and Israel. New Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei said on Thursday in the first comments attributed to him since he succeeded his slain father. Thursday's statement struck a defiant tone, with Khamenei calling on Iran's neighbors to shut U.S. bases on the territory and warning that Iran will continue to target them. State television offered no explanation for why the message was read out rather than delivered in person. Iranian officials have said Khamenei was lightly wounded in the initial February 28th airstrikes, but the extent of his injuries is unclear. The prospect that one of the most severe disruptions ever to hit global energy supplies could drag on sent oil prices surging back above $100 a barrel after falling earlier in the week on hopes of a swift end to the conflict. Finally, from us this morning, a senior local tourism official has reiterated the rationale for the sector's unprecedented decision to import water into the island. The precious commodity is currently in short supply due to the dry season and the inability of the Water and Sewage Company to provide a reliable service owing to problems with its infrastructure. As such, the hospitality sector has opted to source water from a neighboring Caribbean island at its expense for distribution to stakeholders.
The conversation we embarked upon was really about what are some of the strategies that we needed to employ to reduce this expense, to ensure that we have a dependable supply of water as much as is possible during these times. And most importantly, how do we ensure that the needs of the industry does not negatively impact WASCO's commitment to communities and to domestic consumption.
And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Join us at noon for our next news major, the Lunchtime Report. I'm Timothy Polio. Good morning.
Right. Thanks, guys. Let's take a short break. We'll be back. Stay with us. We're kicking things off this Friday morning because there's something that is upcoming. It's absolutely free, but how can I put it? The M Factors have collaborated, including me, because I put it myself in the mix. So we've got M Motors and we've got M Factor 2. They did the first one on menopause, and now they're going to be focusing on perimenopause. But I don't have the details. Dr. Beaubrun does, and she's here to enlighten us. Dr. Beaubrun is here with us because Dr. Beaubrun has been in my ear. I have to admit, she's been in my hair about this passion that she has when it comes to perimenopause and menopause and the conversation surrounding them, because she, and rightfully so, she was of the impression that enough was not being shared. Enough information was not out there. And so many of us, my time soon, you know, soon, you know, and
Yeah.
people who are actually probably in that stage right now. And there's so many misconceptions, there's so many different narratives, there's so many different interpretations of what happens and what has happened, what is supposed to happen. So much so that sometimes it becomes a conversation that women are scared to talk about because
Yeah,
somehow...
there is silence.
Yeah.
And we did, the first one we premiered in May was the M Factor, which was about menopause. And we realized, based on the conversations that we were having, that women were in need of community to talk about their shared experiences, because in the Caribbean and in other parts of the world, it's not something that we speak about. Our mothers and grandmothers and the elders did not speak about it. They went through it, maybe suffered in silence, but they certainly did not go through anything that made us think that it was any issues.
Right.
And what we realize is that people keep thinking that menopause is something to be feared.
Oh, it's not only fair to be embarrassed of.
And it's, yes.
Yeah.
And during the first M Factor, we called it the M Factor experience we had, we realized that people were desperate to talk about their experiences and realize that they were not alone. So the producers of the M Factor film realized that before menopause comes perimenopause.
Absolutely.
Before the pause. So they have come out with this new one called the M Factor 2, Before the Pause, talking specifically about perimenopause, which are the years leading up to menopause.
Wow.
These are the years where our bodies start to change. There is nothing there's no one symptom.
Okay.
There's so many different symptoms. The periods change. You get moody or irritable. You don't feel like yourself.
Right.
You get bloating. You get belly fat. Just things start to change, but nobody necessarily puts it or links it to hormonal changes necessarily. You may go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, your labs are fine, you just stressed, or it's just a part of aging, deal with it. But there are ways to deal with perimenopause. Nobody has to go through what I call the suffering that people think they must go through as a result of this hormonal change. I think that this is actually the most powerful time in a woman's life. I consider it a sacred transition where you are coming into your own. And this is a time where we need to have the conversation. So we've partnered with M Motors.
Oh, nice.
M Motors, M Factor,
Very
M
well.
Motors. And the mandate of the Satya Center has always been to educate, empower, and encourage people to take charge of their health.
Very well.
So we are bringing this free to the public to educate and empower them and encourage them to take charge of their health. So not every woman is the same.
Right.
So every woman's hormonal transition is different. So we can't be giving the same prescription to every woman because we think she's in perimenopause or menopause. We have to understand what's going on with her. We have to listen to her story.
Right.
Sometimes it's not even just perimenopause. There's something else going on. There are other hormones, and hormones talk and dance with each other. So we have to check everything. It could be her blood sugar. It could be that she has a mineral or vitamin deficiency. So there's so much that we need to address before we just write the prescription. It's so important that women come in so that we have sort of a story of what's happening over the years. So as soon as something changes, we're able to recognize, aha, something is wrong. Let's try and find out exactly what's going on. And it's not cookie cutter medicine anymore. It's precision care.
That's right.
Each patient has to be treated as an individual, and we have to start to see the patient beyond the disease.
Yes.
We don't treat menopause or perimenopause or diabetes or insulin issues. We treat the patient who happens to present with that. Why has this patient presented with that? Similar. That's why we're doing it at M Motors.
At M Motors, I like that.
So we think that it's going to be an evening of excellence, an evening of education, community, connection, we want women to understand that it's going to be, we're creating a safe space.
Right.
What is said here stays here.
That sounds like empowerment to me.
Right?
To me.
So
Nice.
it's a safe space where they can learn, they can share their stories, and they can get the answers that they probably have not been able to get.
Right.
You know, somebody said that I posted something earlier on social media, and they said their labs have always been normal, but they know something is not wrong, something is not right. And they've realized that normal labs do not mean that their labs are optimal. And I have been
Right.
saying that for a long time. You want your labs to be optimal, not just normal. You want them optimal. That's when you function best.
That's right.
And this is the time in our lives where we're balancing maybe taking care of our parents, taking care of our children, working, doing everything. So guess who gets left, Lord?
Oh,
We
always.
get left.
All the time.
So
all the
it's
time.
so important that we start to change the narrative by putting our self-care first.
Yes,
And that means by educating ourselves on what is happening to our bodies.
absolutely.
And we are modern hormones,
Absolutely.
you know.
So when are we coming out? We're coming out. I'm excited now.
We're
I
doing
want to
this
be here.
on March 20th at 5:30 right here at the M Motor showroom. It's free, as I said.
Okay.
The link will be on social media. If
You
go-
recommend registration?
Yes, we would recommend that so we know how many
Numbers,
people
hence,
are
right.
coming, and it's via Eventbrite. So you just click on the link,
Ah.
put in your name, and so we know
You have
you're
a
coming,
marker.
and we
Wow.
don't want to not have enough. There will be a few prizes and you know little.
Somebody might be
goodies.
wondering, is that a forum for me? Who should come?
Anybody who
Anybody.
really is interested in
Right,
women's health,
good.
including actually if some men want to come, because I think we should really have the
Include, yeah.
conversation on women's health should include
The men.
the
yeah.
men, because when one partner is going through a change, it impacts the relationship.
Absolutely.
And don't think men don't go through their change as well. So sometimes you're getting both partners going through the change. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Right.
One person seeks help, starts to feel better. The other one doesn't quite do it, so they're on a different level now. And one is feeling great and feeling like herself again, and the other partner is like, boy, I wish I could feel like you, but I don't know where to turn. There is help for men too.
Okay. Certainly.
We haven't put out, the M factor should be the men factor, so hopefully we will have
We'll
a
have
men
that,
factor.
absolutely.
I'm going to ask the producers. And what we're doing now is changing the narrative so that women of our generation will not have to go through what they fear of menopause. And more importantly, the generations to come, our daughters and their daughters,
Absolutely.
will know
empowered.
and be empowered to take charge of their health and hopefully have a different experience of the sacred
Change the
transition.
narrative as well and the mindset towards
Yeah.
menopause and perimenopause.
It's a powerful time. I mean,
Exactly. That's not what we.
best
That's
time.
not how we connect with it.
I
We connect
know,
with
but
it
I'm
as
telling you
something
from
shameful or
experience,
something.
It's actually great.
Doc, we always appreciate whenever you have initiatives like these.
Thank
we
you.
always
Thank you for
like
your
to be on
support.
board, and thank
Hopefully
you
you
for
come.
always putting yourself out there and caring so much. Right. Well, yesterday we saw the launch of HAPA, the official launch of HAPA, Helen's Association of Peoples with Autism. And the minister with responsibility for special education was on hand. So obviously, I mean, it is definitely worth the conversation to find out where it is that the ministry stands on the moving forward of, recognizing, well, we've never had a body within the ministry directly associated with persons with disability or special education. So I think it was very, very vital to profit the opportunity to speak to the minister to find out where their head is at, what the plan is moving forward. And I'm sure you will be enlightened, and I'm sure you'll be happy with some of the conversation or some of the pronouncement made by the minister as well. We are here because we were just at the launch. We witnessed the press launch of a conference with HAPA. And of course, that falls right under your ministry, hence the reason that you're here. A ministry that, persons who know we have not seen a ministerial representative in the past for persons with disability. Am I correct?
You're correct.
I am definitely correct. So that in itself is definitely worth celebrating and recognizing and highlighting. But the fact that you're actually here present today, and I think, as I mentioned, today is actually Constituency Day. And you put that down a little bit just to make sure that you're here to be part of this recognition. So commendation to you on that. But I want to ask you, that ministry falling underneath your purview, clearly, if we are to be honest with ourselves, there has been a lot in the recent months, in the recent years, surrounding a shift in the mindset. We can definitely feel a pouring into more from the government side under that banner. So it's no secret or it's no surprise that we find a ministry now being represented under that. What does it mean for you? What are some of the mandates? I just want it all. Just friendly, just put out everything there for me because I don't know when I'm going to get to talk to you again. So just let me know where you are from a ministerial standpoint as far as that is concerned.
Sure. I mean, you said it, at the heart and philosophy of this government is caring.
Yeah.
And caring for persons with special needs. And you said it again, and I hope my constituents will forgive me.
They will.
Because ordinarily, I would have been in Beaufort South
right.
on a Wednesday. But when I got the invite from Harper, I had to be here. And I told it to them in my comments. I want to first thank them for realizing there is a social issue.
Yes.
And taking that social issue and making it theirs.
Yes.
So that they could impact change and transformation.
Right.
And that's absolutely big. But on the part of the government would be for legislative reform, for policy reform, and to give them all the support that we could give financially as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was only last night we agreed to a resolution in Parliament of $17.1 million to assist in early childhood education, in TVET education, but also in special education.
Thank you.
And I was making the comment in Parliament that the numbers have increased. From 2021, I think it was 119 students who had been diagnosed with special needs.
Right.
I think currently we have 244.
Wow.
And with early detection, with the improvement of the team at the ministry, you have more students with special needs.
Yes.
And I've always said, when you hold a child by the hand, when you hold a child with special need by the hand, you lead the parents by the heart.
Yes.
And so that's the work we're doing. And the monies that we have agreed to, one, to improve the conditions in Beaufort South for the students in that center, to improve the conditions in Soufrière. Lakai Dennery is deep on our radar. I said in Parliament that I held the hand of a principal and told her that your conditions will get better. And it's a promise that I've made. It's a promise that I must keep.
You must
Because
keep,
if you ever visit the school, you'll realize that our students need that kind of support. And really, you also spoke about it, changing the narrative when it comes to persons with special needs and persons with autism. Said it in my official comments, and I will say it again. The time has come where we cannot use someone's difficulty or learning disability as an insult.
Yes.
We must move far away from that, whether we do it on social media, whether we do it in person, whether we do it in jests among our friends. We must definitely stop that. We must move faster.
Absolutely. Well, the work has started, and you're doing your part. It's a holistic approach. So if everybody play their part, I'm sure we're going to make some strides in that regard. But I wanted to zero in on a little institutions like Harper and other institutions of like taking the initiative and putting themselves out there. How critical is that? Because normally we hear, the government. The government is one little body with a few people, right? We have a whole community of how much thousands of people. How important it is, and is that it's a call to action, I guess, for other persons and other institutions, a person that could come together and get the ball rolling, and then you're there now to provide the support, because clearly we see that is the mandate, and you're here now and you're able to support an institution that has put itself out there. We can see what it has been doing. It's very well laid out, and now the government have no problem in coming on board and saying, all right, we understand, we see the merit in this, so we can now put back in behind it. How important it is to keep encouraging other institutions, other people of like mind. It may not be autism, it may not be special needs, but other community people to get involved and start things. You know, and yeah, everybody, you can't do it all.
You're absolutely correct again. I mean, that is social participation at its finest. That you're going, again, like I said, that you're going to look at your community. You will see there is a social issue. And then you will put the mechanisms in place. You'll put the organizational structure in place to ensure that you take care of that issue. And you will have the response of a caring government when you do that, because they'll realize that the organization is in place and that you're very, very serious about what you do. But I want to also encourage them a bit more, because along the journey, there is no doubt in my mind that they'll face lots of difficulties, they'll face lots of challenges. There are lots of stigmas and various discriminations that they have to tackle and fight with. But I want to encourage them to press forward. And then we have an open door policy at the government. Sometimes you say these things and people feel that these are political sound bites, but it's a reality. It was only this week I received all of my sensory material because I kept asking that I need my sensory materials for special needs, so that as I move around the country, I could give them to children that I meet that has special needs. And I was also telling the Vice President of Harper that this government will be fully immersed in the activities. When the activities are finally concluded, make them available to us so that we could fully participate in them. But even beyond that, when April would have finished, and the list of activities would have been done, we must move even beyond the conversation. And now we must move to, like Isai said in his comments, the call of action and the call of accountability. We must make sure that we don't go quiet after April. So it cannot be for 1 month we speak about autism and then we go quiet. No. It must become part of our lexicon. It must become part of our culture as a people. And so that when you do that, that's when you see the changes.
The whole revolutionizing of the mindset. Any take home from you, Mr. Minister?
The big take home for me is, I want to be very careful how I say
I
this.
know.
Usually when you're invited to conferences for persons with special needs, there's always a tendency sometimes for the conversation to be so heavy and for the conversation to be so
guarded.
Pensive and guarded. But today was so different. It was very buoyant, it was very upbeat, it was very progressive, it was very hopeful. And it shows me that this organization is moving in the right direction. Our country is also moving in a direction. And the next take home for me is even persons who are not even directly affected by autism. For example, they do not have a child living with a child with autism.
On the spectrum.
On the spectrum. However, they see it fitting to give their support, whether it be financially, whether it be emotionally, whether it be administrative. That's very, very big for me. And we see some of our big partners like Lucilec and Marcy and Saul. And I want to reach out to the others. Look at St. Lucia, look at your country, find out what issues are happening and what issues you could sponsor and get involved. Yeah.
I think that's the take home for me as well. Well, this is Friday. I know you're heading into the weekend, but maybe it's your final, maybe you take a break on the weekend. So your final morning to ensure that you stay accountable to the promise that you made yourself when it comes to pouring into your health. So we're going to move again, and here is SocaCize to help us to do just that this Friday morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's SocaCize session. Leading the wine, we have Sarah, Laurie, and Shani. Let's get ready to sweat with SocaCize. For this morning's workout, we will be doing a bacchanal warm-up routine to Balance Bati by WCK. Let's do this. 4, 3, 2, swing those hips. going in a circle. 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, step and switch. 4, 3, 2, first side and 4, 3, 2, next side. Hey. 4, 3, down and up, hip. Let's go. 8, 8, 8, 8. Stroke back, squeeze it. Last one, side to side with the hip. Woo! Let's go. 4, 3, 2, circle. 4, 3, 2, step and 4, 3, 2, switch. Hey. 4, 3, 2, foot side. Switch it. Hey. 4 more. 4, 3, hip down and up and stroke back, balance back to you. Let's go. 4 more. Side to side, hips. 4, 3, step and 4, 3, 2, switch and 4, 3, 2, first side. 4, 3, 2, next side. 4, 3, hip down and up and last one, push back. Let's go. Hey, hey, hey. 4 more. Hey, hey, hey. Roll the hips. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. That was this morning's session. Thank you for choosing to flaunt with SocaCize. We hope that you're feeling sexy, sultry, and strong.
Well, I'm ending my show this morning. I am not going to use previous stated quote by anybody. I want to end this morning. I know it's a weekend, but you know what? There's certain things that you don't need to design when you should talk about them. They should be spoken about all the time. Now, I saw a very disturbing video yesterday of a bullying to a young youth, a male youth, being bullied, being stripped of his clothing and being bullied by a group of other young men. And I'm sure some of you would have seen that video by now. And talk about hurt. I am hurt as a parent, as a human, as a basic human, as a Caribbean black person. I was so hurt, and I am still very disturbed. And I want to. This is a call to action. We cannot continue down that path, St. Lucia. We cannot continue down that path. Now, there's a couple of things I'm very emotional about it, so I'm trying to very temper the conversation that I hold surrounding it because I get very irate, and I'm a presenter. I can't afford to bring out all of the real emotion in things like that. But I'm very, very disturbed by this. This should never be allowed to happen again. And the children who are responsible for that should be made to account. The parents, because the video is out. The video is out. We see who they are. You, if you're one of them parents, you see who they are. I am waiting to see which parent is going to identify their child involving, because I'm not saying you grow your child like that, mind it, because we might grow our children, they might go out there, be influenced and have all of the wrong things doing. If you as a parent to any of these young men who are responsible for committing or carrying out this unsightly, this dishumanitarian act on this young man, I need you to step up and take action and take responsibility. We need you to step up and take action and take responsibility. If you don't, do not blame us for judging you. Do not blame us for maybe the police or the authorities taking matters into their hands. Do not blame us. Because if you as a parent can look at your child, commit this sort of atrocity to somebody else, and you do not feel it in your heart that you need to step up and take some form of action and ensure that your child knows that this is not right, then we're deeper than I thought. But to the rest of you, and the young man who was the subject or the center of that video, he's going to need a lot of support moving forward. He's going to need a lot of uplifting. And we as a society need to be there and need to step up and ensure that this young man regains his confidence and step forward fully. It's all of us responsibility moving forward. Now, this is unfolding, so there's a lot to do, and I want to get involved. I want to get involved because that's just one that we saw. Maybe there's others that is going on that we are not exposed to. We have to do better, St. Lucia. We have to do better. So as you're going out into your weekend and you choose to go and free up and let down, and all of that is fine. But while we're doing that and we're finding time to reground ourselves, these are the kind of things that we have to take a stand on. Sitting by silently because it was not your child is also, it's a conviction. So I am waiting to see. I'm not waiting to see, as a matter of fact, but I can't tell you what I will be doing. But we have to do something. This cannot continue. This cannot be allowed to just slip on by as okay. It's not okay. It is definitely not okay. We need to check ourselves in the shop.